Hey everyone, welcome back to River's Edge Chevre at 3 Ring Farm. I have not done a video for quite some time, but I wanted to catch everybody up on how everything was doing. So last night we moved our chicks from the greenhouse to the chicken coop. And they have taken to the new chicken yard pretty well. And our old chickens are feeling cranky because we have locked them out of the garden so that we can put the garden in. Oop. The pecking order is being sorted out. So hopefully tonight they all go back into the coop rather than getting up and roosting in the trees, because possums and raccoons will come through and eat them if they go up into the trees. But we lock them in every night so that they're safe. And these chicks were hatched February 26th, and it is now May 11th? So since the chicks are out of the greenhouse now, I will take you over and show you how our starts are doing. There's good news and there's bad news when it comes to them, but I will show you what the bad news is when I get over there. But for right now, the greenhouse is a completely blank slate, which is pretty exciting. So I need to get in there and start rototilling and getting stuff in the ground. So here are the starts, and as you can tell, some of them look great and some of them don't. So we had these tables in the greenhouse and the chicks immediately started jumping up on the tables and eating all of the brassicas. So we moved the tables out and we kept an eye on the weather report, and we were like, oh, looks good, looks good. And one night we looked at the weather, we were keeping an eye on it, and they had the wrong temperature for us. They said it was going to be in the 40s and it dropped down below freezing. So our peppers and our tomatoes took a serious hit. But good news, even though our starts got knocked back pretty seriously, they are not all dead. So we definitely lost some of them, like this little pepper right here. That one is a goner, but I have at least 4 other ones of the same type that are still alive, and in that case, putting up a new little leaf. So I'm trying to be a Pollyanna about this rather than just feeling depressed about it. But anyway, we had several nights of freezing temperature. And after the first night, we started covering it with floating row cover. But look at how good those tomatoes are doing. Now you might laugh because these are pretty sad looking little tomatoes, but compared to where they were, they are doing wonderful because all of these leaves are all new that they grew after the frost. But look at that lovely cabbage. Isn't that fabulous? So now that the chickens are locked out of the garden, we are going to start popping everything in. And definitely the artichokes need to go in. Some are doing really well and some are not. Lost most of my ground cherries. Most of the eggplants are goners. Some did survive though, which was pretty impressive. And I am going to start some more eggplants. The tomatoes, I have enough of the tomatoes and the peppers that I have more than I need. Let's see. Oh, the okra. I will start more okra because those are gone. The basil took a hit. my zinnias, most of those got killed off. But for the most part, I was really impressed at how well stuff handled the freeze. So, if your plants get eaten by animals or frozen, do not give up on them. Just cut off the dead parts and let them grow back, because it is pretty impressive to see what they will do. And like, for example, this one right here, this is a shishito pepper. And it was covered by one of the leaves from the kohlrabi next to it. And so it's doing just fine. And that shishito I started after the rest of the peppers. And here are some more tomatoes. So, and they were looking really nice before they got frozen. But they'll catch back up. And then here is a flat of lettuce that we already harvested. We need to plant it out. It's a loose leaf or cut and come again type. So if we just plant it out, it'll start growing again. And actually, you can already see, like right there and right there, it started. And then this is strawberries. They are the little alpine strawberries. And these are Queen of the Valley. And then I have two different types here. I have the Yellow Wonder on this side of the tray, and then I have the Mignonette on this side. And so they are just coming up, but I am pretty excited. I've never started strawberries from seed. And then this was marigolds, calendulas. The calendulas never came up, but it was an old pack of seed. Zinnias and asters, but like I said, they took a pretty decent hit. And this is a flat of shallots that I'm just starting now. More peppers. But like, look at that one. I know, it's pretty sad, but I'm excited that they survived at all. Onions that need to be transplanted out. Oops. And look at this lovely bulb fennel. Isn't that doing good? And here are some rhubarbs that we started. We have the Champagne and the Victoria. So the ones that did come up, I need to transplant into bigger pots. And like these tomatoes, they were separate in this tray. And like my striped German, those mortgage lifters, the black truffle, I don't really have any hope for those at all. But like the mortgage lifter, I know I have one in another tray that's just fine. The black truffles are gone, and the striped Germans, those were the only ones I had of those. And then here are some of the eggplant that survived. And I'm going to start some more eggplant just because I have time. And then here's some Cape gooseberries that did fine. And what we found was that anything that was bigger, the outside leaves got toasted, and you can see some of them there. And I went through and pruned them all the dead off that was obviously dead at the time, because I did not want the dead leaves to sit and hold mold and bacteria on the plants and cause disease problems. So that is the update on the starts, and hopefully starting in just the next couple days, we will start putting all the kale, chard, cabbages, all that kind of stuff going in. And then I'm going to follow with the tomatoes, and I think we're going to put the peppers, as many of them that look really good, into the greenhouse. So let's go look at the greenhouse, and you can see the blinks. And here's the greenhouse. It's all empty. Now I just need to get in here and pull everything out that we had for the chicks and start rototilling and get the soil prepped, because my sweet potato slips came yesterday. And I had ordered 36, but I think that they sent 2 bundles of one type because they were a little bit smaller. So I think I have about 48 sweet potatoes that I plan on putting in here, plus peppers and tomatoes and all the rest. And I have a pile out there of, that's just from where our alfalfa is stored, and there's some straw mixed in too. But we just got a load of alfalfa in a couple weeks ago, and The stuff we clean up from underneath the pallets that we put down under the alfalfa stack, we scrape up and bring out, and I want to put that in here too because that's actually mostly alfalfa. And here are our rams. Mr. Spot's on the left and then number 17 is on the right. And they are today's bad haircut victims. I was very happy. We finally got them shorn, we got their feet trimmed, and they got dewormed. And they were good boys, and when we let them go, they did not fight with each other. Which sometimes when you have rams and you cut their hair off, they don't recognize each other. And so they fight. But they have been just relaxed, enjoying the cool haircut. Let's see. Hey, Mr. Spot, you want to show off your cool color? Yeah? You have some cute markings. No? You're just feeling like chilling? Oh, you're a sweet boy. Yes. Yeah. And here are the goaties. They have been enjoying the nice weather. It has just been glorious lately. I just put out some new mineral tubs out there. So they're working on that. Some of them are playing on the rock pile. There's a couple out grazing. There's a couple cows out there. And our pond is almost dried up. Figure another couple weeks and it will be gone. And I don't see any of the mama ducks with their babies, but the wild ducks have been hatching out nests of babies, which is pretty exciting. And there's Scampy with one of her little girls. She has two. And they both nurse on the same side, which is making her very lopsided. And there's Pants. What are you up to, Pants? When the weather's nice, this is basically what our animals do almost all day long. We only milk once a day. And so the ones that come in, and we put them into the front part of the barn for the holding pen. And then the ones that are cooperative and come through in the first couple groups, their work day is about 10 minutes long. And as soon as they get milked, they're done for the day and they just get to go out and relax. This little fenced off area is where our gray water tank is, and last year we had to replace it, so my brother brought over his tractor with backhoe attachment and dug up our old one and put in a new one. And this is where all the wash water from the dairy goes, and then we can put it out on the field during the summer to irrigate. But a lot of mustard came up, and let me tell you, this has been blooming for like 2 months. And the bees have just been loving it. And it smells really good too. But it is a nice early flowering pollinator attractor. And now the bees are all over the apple trees for the most part. But earlier I was out here and there were quite a few still on it. But it is just lovely. So if you're looking for something that will flower early, that the bees will enjoy, then think about mustards. Oh, hi, Sansi. Yeah? Are you out hunting? Are you just keeping me company? Yeah. And the grass is growing. It is green and it is lush. And this is the paddock where the rams are. And they have quite literally not even walked out this far because the grass is growing so well that they can just graze closer to the barn, and they get alfalfa. And the thistles are growing, so now is the time to go through and cut those off and call it good for the year, because those things will spread. Ooh, there's Mr. Spot. He's coming out. So this is Odessa and one of her kids from this last summer. So that kid is almost a year old, and he is still nursing. And he has a brother too, so we need to get rid of him. But they will drink all of her milk. That's what happens if you don't wean the kids. They will quite literally be the same size as their mother, and they will still be nursing. And she has 2 kids like that. And that little goatee right there is Gremolata, and she's a bottle baby. Her mom preferred her brother over her, but we'll be keeping her and putting her on the milk line. She's a funny little thing. And she's the youngest baby that we have right now. And I can't tell you how many goats have kidded and how many kids we've had. We have it all written down, but I just don't know what the numbers are. And she sometimes thinks she's a sheep. So, but the sheep don't really appreciate it. But this last weekend we did sell 20 of the wethers, so we don't have as many kids as we did. But we have a handful more boys to get rid of, and then after that what we were going to do is keep the girls and see how their moms are producing at this point, and make decisions on who we're going to get rid of and what we're going to keep at that point. And before I let you go for today's video, I wanted to show you quickly our milking parlor and bulk tank room. And give you just a brief overview of what we do in it. And I planned on doing this, of course, when we had everything sparkling clean, but it's not. And so I just wanted to show it to you as it is. So the goats come in through this door, and then we have 2 steps that I just have one down right now, and the other one is up to show you. And they jump up on that, jump up on the stand, and then this bar that has all the inflations and hoses on it swings out, and they put their heads in to the head gates there, and we close them in, and they get grain in those pans. So we milk 12 at a time. It's a pipeline system, just like how you'd have for cows. And then we wash them, wash their udders using a washcloth with a special udder wash. And then we do a pre-milking spray that we then leave on their teats for 30 seconds, wipe off. We milk them, we do a post-dip spray, and then we send them out that door. And then we do it all over again. We put more grain in the pans and bring in another group. And we're currently doing 6 turns of 12, so we have 72 coming through. And then the milk goes into the inflations, which are those maroon things, into the hoses, and then into this stainless steel pipe. And it goes down into this transfer tank, and then we have a pump, and it pumps it up, over and through, and then into our bulk tank room. So this is our second milking parlor. Our first one is over close, and it was built part of the actual cheese facility and bulk tank room, and we were milking 6 animals at a time, same system, but we quickly realized that that was not going to be big enough for us, and so we went to 12. And honestly, as soon as we got the 12 animal milking system going, we started going, no, we really should have gone with 34 because it goes so much quicker. Anyway, so this is the milking parlor. And it's fairly simple, but it's very similar to what you'd see with a cow system. Okay, so it's pretty warm in here, and I've been running wash cycles for our pipeline system for the milking parlor. So it looks like my camera's going to fog up a bit, but this is our bulk tank. It's a 200-gallon bulk tank, and for those of you who don't know what a bulk tank is, it is where you store the milk. Give you a little peek. Oh, there's milk. While it's waiting to be made into cheese. So it keeps it cold. And then we have a pump over there in the corner right now. And this will get hooked up to these stainless steel pipes up here and pumped over into the room that's through that door. Ooh, it's really steamy in here. And that's where our cheese making room is, and so this milk will get pumped over to our pasteurizer and pasteurized. But this is our wash sink for running the cycles through, and our milk filter's in there. And I just got done running all the wash cycles. And it's a clean in place system, CIP, and so you fill the sink, put your cleaning chemicals in, and then the wash water goes up through that system, goes out into the milking parlor, and goes through the whole system, and then it comes back through this pipe and into the sink, and so it just recirculates. And then when we're ready to milk, we switch this pipe over to the bulk tank, and we take this little lid off, and we have a milk filter, or the milk filter bowl that goes there, and we put a filter in there, and we have a lid, and that pipe goes into that. It goes through the filter, the milk goes through the filter and into the tank. And then over here, we just have a wash sink. And then this is a dishwasher for washing cheese forms that we use in the cheese room. And then this is a cart, and it is really getting steamed up, but so this is where we keep our cleaning chemicals. This is a non-foaming soap that is specially designed for clean in place systems. And we get all of our cleaning chemicals for the clean in place system through Ecolab. And then on this cart we have, let's see, Monodyne, and that's what we use, and that comes from Ecolab too. And that's what we use for our udder wash. We have our acid, and then we have bleach for sanitizing the system. So, I know it's fuzzy. And then there's our double doors that go outside. And this door over here, I don't know if you can even see it at this point, but this door here used to go into our old milking parlor, but now that room is for shipping and storage. So it's a fairly simple room. And I would show you our milking, or our cheese room right now, but I just got done milking, and so I'm in dirty clothes. So I cannot go in there right now, but I'll show it to you here soon. And this bulk tank is from the 1950s, and our pasteurizer is from the 1950s. It's a, let's see, Van Vetter. Let's see if it shows it there. Van Vetter. And it holds 200 gallons. Both our pasteurizer and our bulk tank hold 200 gallons. There's information up here, but the camera's not picking it up. So that's all that we can hold at any given time. And it's from the 1950s, and my mom back in '94, when she started dreaming about having a dairy, started collecting equipment. And when we got ready to actually start, she had Ray Lahamadou from New West Welding in Tillamook refurbish the bulk tank and the pasteurizer. Okay, well, I am going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.